Hey everyone, welcome back to Nia Nata's Coaching Corner. This is episode 6, and in this series you'll find little videos of me basically finding posts on social media and reacting to them as if I was coaching that person with the context of what they said on that post. However, I do offer the option of you submitting a digital commission where I will react to it as if I was coaching you. You can find this on my Patreon link, so please go and check that out. On there you can also find just a general support option, so please take that into consideration to support me and my channel. So without further ado, we will get into this one. So I found a post that was titled, "Why is it so hard to just work on your goals?" And the context of this is, I had goals for years, and in hindsight I could sit down and actually start working on it, but I just get in my own way. I look for all the ways it can go wrong. I spend my time doing other things that won't help me, like working overtime and being paid for that extra time. It's like I'm running away from actually starting, and I used to be so ambitious when I was younger. And now I feel like life is passing me by and I don't know what to do to change it. Is it discipline, motivation? What is it that I need to address? So, firstly, I think that this is not an uncommon issue. I actually struggled with this as well. It's where, it can be a number of things. So, in hindsight, I could sit down and actually start working on it. If you're anything like me, I really struggle with getting started on something because I'm such a perfectionist and I always want to do it right the first time. So the first thing I would suggest is really start being acceptable to make mistakes, because they are the things that you learn from. And obviously when you start doing something, especially when you're starting to do something new, you're not going to get it correct the first time you do it. So making those mistakes and accepting that you will make mistakes really does help with the willingness to move towards something. Another thing I would really suggest, which really helped me, is forming habits. Firstly, you can do this by, when there's a trigger, you can put an action into place after the trigger. So for example, when I am going to sit down and do this thing, I feel this way. So what usually happens is that I will get up and do something else and procrastinate. However, the cue would then be that you would actually sit down and work on it for 5 minutes, something like that. The other thing that I would suggest, which is what I did and it actually helped, is a term called blocking. So in my Google Calendar, I will plan out my day. Planning is key, by the way. And for an activity or for a hobby or interest that I will do, say gaming. I enjoy gaming. And I will block out 2 hours of that day just purely for gaming. And that really helped me kind of solidify just working on that for 2 hours straight without anything else being in the way. I especially found this with learning Chinese, that I would just get really distracted by something. So I'd make myself only for like half an hour, because you are in the early stages of this habit or new interest, so you really don't want to overwhelm yourself. So even if it's just 5 minutes that you sit down first of all, but slowly over time you can then increase the amount of time that you spend on this thing and work on it until you can do it quite easily without feeling the pressure of starting. The 5-minute method is also really beneficial because if you promise yourself that I'll just work on something for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes even, then you you get into the zone, and because you've tried and because you've committed that far to it, you'll find it a lot easier to just continue doing it over time. And I think, yeah, that's basically it. Let me just check through and see. I've had goals for years, and in hindsight I could sit down and actually start working on it, but I just get in my own way. Not taking accountability, well, this person's taken accountability, but it depends on how they're going to act as a result of this, which would be very important. I look for all the ways it can go wrong. Perfectionist, like me. I spend my time doing other things that won't help me, like working overtime. So it's the substitution of being productive in a different way so that you don't have to commit to trying or starting this new thing, because you're obviously doing things that you know very well and are comfortable with in order to be able to get them right and do something productive without making mistakes. It's like I'm running away from actually starting, and I used to be so ambitious when I was young. Now I feel like life has passed me by and I don't know how to change it. So, used to be so ambitious when we were young. We were all very confident when we were young, so that would definitely be the reason for that, is that we lose confidence, and we also get told by society that making mistakes is a bad thing. However, we should be celebrated for making mistakes, especially ones where we are trying to improve ourselves and as a result have made a mistake and learned from it. By making a mistake and learning from it, we then have an insight into how we can improve next time. How, if, let's just say we started a business and we tried a method of marketing and it didn't work, and then we found a better way of marketing. If you ever wanted to start another business, you already know which marketing you benefit from more. And also, we all have different ways of learning as well. So if one way doesn't work for you, don't give up. Just find and try another method. So, for example, with me, I am very much like this person, and I hate getting things wrong, but that's getting a bit better now, and I'm willing to try more things. It really does free you up as well for trying new things when you're not in this mindset of, oh, what if I fail? What if I look terrible in front of people? But then you'll feel like life isn't just passing you by, because you're actually committing your time to doing something that is to do with self-improvement, and it's really not going to be something that you dread anymore. And is it discipline, motivation? What is it that I need to address? Is a bit of both. Making a routine, sticking to it, blocking out time so that's the only thing you focus on will give you the motivation, because you will get into that routine. It's also about building resilience within yourself as well. So when your brain is going, oh, I can't do this, let's go do something else, it's actually being like, well, no, let's try this for 2 minutes and see how far we get. 2 minutes is better than 0 minutes. So even if you start from 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then start increasing it in increments, that's better than not starting at all. Also, being willing to learn, like when you were younger, is very important. It's like adults have lost themselves with being unwilling to make mistakes, but the whole point of growth and evolution throughout our life is to make mistakes. We don't want to be stuck in the comfort zone and do the same thing all day, every day. That's how life becomes boring and why people feel like life is passing them by. As long as we're all sticking to something, trying our best every day, staying consistent with our goals is very important. I would also like to point out that the person underneath this comment said, goals are for people who have nothing and do nothing. Action in the present is all that counts. And I deeply disagree with that. That is not good advice. Goals and not for people who have nothing and do nothing. Without goals, you would do nothing because you have nothing to aim towards. Action in the present is all that counts. Well, how are you going to act on anything if you don't have a goal to move towards? If you say, like, oh, I have no goals. If you don't have a goal of going to get a job or having money, then why would you go to work? Like, what? Make that make sense. Anyways, I will leave this here. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider giving this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel, and obviously going to check out my other podcast episodes on my channel. I also have a gaming channel if that is something that you like, and you can find that in my channel description. And like I said before, I also have a Patreon, so please go and check that out. There will be another type of payment coming soon, which will be one-on-one coaching, which I'm very excited about. And if you are interested in helping me upgrade my office, then please go and check out my throne as well. Other than that, I will see you in the next episode. Enjoy, and I'll see you all soon. Bye everyone.